My name is Mike Doherty from Chiptooth Gaming, and you're watching Completely Consensual right here on Chiptooth Gaming. Exactly. And alongside me today is the San Francisco treat himself, back once again, Eli Shaw.
Hello, how's it going?
What's going on? Now, I have an important question.
Yes.
Have you adapted the nickname?
Yeah, I think ever since it debuted on my first appearance on Completely Consensual, we've adopted it over at Grid Life Digest. Noah for sure loves having me have a nickname for once, and I really like it. It's cool. It makes me feel special on the inside. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Awesome. You're back again. Thank you again for driving out. We're gonna go out to eat after this, but yeah, thank you. I know it's a mission to get out here, but thank you. We had a last minute cancellation, so you kind of saved my skin here and make sure we're hitting every week.
I love making content, so anytime.
That's what I'm talking about.
Heck yeah.
Good man. Doing them right, raising them right over there, Noah, and doing them right too. Now. Eli.
Yep.
What is that? Well, okay. So, what games have you been playing? I like to start off the podcast with what have you been playing, and then we'll get into some news. This is going to be a more news-based show, just because I've had Eli on before. He's interviewed a lot of game news happening too. So,
oh yeah,
I'd like to have episodes dedicated to like a lot of heavy game news as well.
Okay.
So, what have you been playing?
So like we talked about last episode, Battlefront 2 I was interested in, but I never got it, and it was on a sale like a few weeks ago, or like a week ago, and I picked it up.
Okay. Yeah.
I had to do it. As per your recommendation, as per Platt Matt over at Grid Life Digest, his game of the year for some reason. So I was
it was on my list too.
I had to check it out, and I've been playing a lot of multiplayer, pretty much only multiplayer.
Yeah, the story's not good.
I'll get to it maybe, but...
Don't.
No, okay.
This is a big waste of
time.
Unless you want the trophies.
I want the trophies.
Yeah, then you go and play their story.
Okay.
Yeah, it plugs you with it. I want to platinum it.
Yeah, I almost platinum the first one.
I don't know. Me too. That's another thing I wanted to play platinum the first one, but I think I got in too late.
Yeah, it got kind of difficult.
So how are you liking it?
I really like it. It's grindy. Like, I can play for probably an entire day as much as I can, and get like halfway to unlocking a new hero, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just not playing that much, or not. I don't know. Maybe I suck. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I could, with like a real couple hours sunk into, other than like Darth Vader and Luke, I think you can. If you really dig your, and of course, the more you play, the better you get at it. Me, I like play pretty much exclusively heroes versus villains right now. I don't know why. It's just that game mode's so much fun. It's just something so satisfying about pushing 3 villains off with Luke's force push of like Kashyyyk, like a platform.
Lando's my dude, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't just like his little sniper gun. Like the pistol turns into a sniper or something. Yeah. He has like gas grenades. He's just a cool guy.
Interesting. That's what I'm saying. We got to get on. We got to play together because I feel like we got a lot to bring. A good little duo going on here, and we'll get that Matt.
Oh yeah, we'll get Matt.
Yeah, we'll get Matt on that too.
He's into it.
Cool. Make a cool squad.
Heck
you get double the points too.
Really?
Play with more people.
Why didn't you tell anyone this, EA?
Come on, EA. Get your stuff together.
It doesn't make sense to me.
All right, so you're enjoying Battlefront 2?
Yeah.
Okay. And then is that pretty much it right now?
Still slowly making my way through Wolfenstein 2. I'm very, very early on, apparently. I talked to Noah about it, and he said, like, I'm still at the very beginning, basically.
You're still at the tutorial.
Yeah. I've been playing for maybe 6 hours.
Okay.
It's fun. Wolfenstein 1, New Order is great. New Colossus, just even better.
Still got to get on it. So how much, going back to the Battlefront, how much do you pick it up for?
I think it was like $35.
Battlefront 2 is absolutely worth $35.
Yeah.
Now the 60, like I could definitely see the waiting on, but if it's $35, like go and get it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Find it for that.
Multiplayer only, like it's
just fun
price.
grinding. I just like upgrading the star cards and like getting up there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I've like I said on the last podcast, I've dabbled in Monster Hunter world, not my game.
Really?
Yeah, it's just the mechanics, just so bad, and then like there's no real story to bite your teeth into, and then
The mechanics are bad.
it's just the combat. It's just not my kind of combat. And then I don't know. I vastly enjoyed Destiny more than I played Monster Hunter World.
Okay.
It's just not my kind of game.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it. It looks like an awesome game. I mean, as we'll get into, it's Capcom's #1 selling game ever.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll get into that. But yeah, so I mean, I'm happy it's successful. I'm happy it's found an audience, especially right here in the United States, because that's a traditionally more Japanese game. And then I played a little bit of Dragon Ball Fighters, which, oh my God, Eli,
Are you good at it?
I'm okay at it.
Okay.
And I only measure that because the guy who's doing the review for us, I played him, and he's been playing like the game like constantly, like 24/7, and I almost beat him a couple times.
Oh, geez.
So I'm like, okay, I'm all right. I'm not terrible.
Yeah.
So much fun, man. It's such a fun fighting game, except for the weird like server. They set up the server so weird to where it's like you have to go West Coast, and then you gotta go West Coast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you go into that server, and then that gives you this weird like warp room where it's like more people like you who are like standing around, and you have to like find a public match, or you have to like go to like the training station, or like
This sounds too complicated.
Exactly.
For
I was like,
any,
what?
especially a fighting game.
I was like, what are you doing? This is like the word, like, and that's his biggest gripe with it in the review as well. It's like, what are you doing? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
the gameplay is just too good though to like knock it down to where like, oh, it's not worth the buy. But oh man, it's a good game. It's a good game. And then I want to jump into Celeste too.
Ooh.
I've been hearing good things about Celeste, so
Maybe one day.
that's what I'm like we were talking about before the show started. I'm in a weird position right now where it's like I want to bite my teeth into something, but there's nothing to bite my teeth into, and I want something new too. So like I'm gonna try out Celeste maybe tonight, and like I said, I have to go back and play Wolfenstein, so that's another thing where it's like I'll hopefully can bite my teeth into one of these games, because I really do want to, like, I'm waiting for like Spider-Man or God of War or something to like really like just stay up all night and play, because I miss having that like that urge to be like, oh, I gotta one more level.
This is definitely like the year of the single player game, I feel like. Especially with Sony's first party games.
Oh, they're killing it, man.
Yeah. They're like all first party or single player, I think.
Year of the single player game,
Yeah.
and then year of the kart racer. Because I'm telling you, 2018, there's some surprises around the corner. We'll talk about that a little later too.
Okay.
Getting into the news, but I'm so excited. This is gonna be year of the kart racer. I'm ecstatic. Now, to get into some news.
Let's get into it.
So the Han Solo movie, Solo.
Yeah.
We got a trailer for it
We did.
on Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
He looks nothing like Han Solo, sounds nothing like Han Solo. Other than that, it looks pretty interesting. The music in the trailer is amazing.
Yeah, no, I don't even know if they got to do the score for it.
No, I don't know either.
This movie, like, mark it here. Someone cut this out. This movie is going to be so fucking good.
Is it?
I'm so high on it right now.
Okay.
And I get that he doesn't look exact. I mean, it's a stretch, but I could kind of see young Han Solo kind of looking like this. Now, I don't know exactly the timeline. This is something I have to look into a little bit more. I don't know how soon before Empire or New Hope this is. But if it is very early 20, not even early 20s, like, yeah, early 20 is like, well, I guess he was 20. I think this is a very
in real life, Harrison Ford was like in his 30s.
Yeah. I think he was in his 20s, like mid-20s. I don't know. But interested to see how this timeline plays out. I can kind of see that being like how young Han Solo looks. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Like you said, he doesn't feel like Han Solo, but everything else about this movie feels like a Han Solo movie.
Yeah.
Which is weird. That everything else besides Han Solo feels like a Han Solo movie.
I wish it was a Lando movie. Like, we really got nothing of Lando, and we got enough of Han Solo in the original trilogy. So I'm hoping Lando steals the show.
Yeah, me
He probably
too.
will.
Yeah, I mean, Donald Glover.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not mince words here.
No, yeah.
The man's a god. Acting genius. But no, I do too. I wish they would have been like a Lando movie, and then the posters they released with like all the names on it, with the Lando poster. I was like, man, that would have worked out so perfectly if they just Lando. But
there seems to be a lot of Lando though.
yeah, well, yeah, okay. So and that's another part of this news story is in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy revealed that Lucas had planned to do a short set visit. However, the filmmaker ended up staying a bit longer and helped Ron Howard direct a small scene in the movie involving the Millennium Falcon and Han Solo. He intended to just stop by. The quote from Kathleen Kennedy: he had intended to just kind of stop by and say hi, and he stayed for 5 hours. Kennedy said, "There's even one little moment in that scene. I can't tell you what. Sorry." But the scene on the Millennium Falcon where George said, "Why doesn't Han just do this?" Howard loved Lucas's suggestion and quickly ran with it. Though Kennedy did not share any further details about the scene, she expects fans will get a laugh out of it. I think George felt pretty great about that. Kennedy said he could revisit these characters, and I think he felt so comfortable, obviously, with Ron being there, that it was just fun for him.
That makes a lot of sense. When Ron Howard took over in the beginning, I was really like skeptical and a little like upset because I'm a huge fan of Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Huge fan. And like they can do no wrong. So when they left and Ron Howard took over, I was like, these directors are not even remotely the same. Like what's going on? This movie has to have something wrong with it. But I understand George Lucas coming in and working with Ron Howard just because of their history, and it's like, all right, maybe he gets the feel of it more than anyone.
Yeah, well, I think it was kind of cool that like it's not even like he's actively working on the project. He just came by to like say hi, and then he was able to give some wisdom to Ron Howard because of course they worked together on American Graffiti. Yeah, George Lucas's like first like
major
picture. Yeah. Man, it's just. It makes, first of all, with the Lord Miller, I want to see that like movie. Like I wish they didn't switch.
Cut.
I want exactly what they were doing. I think it's kind of a bummer that Disney involved, but who knows? Maybe it is for the best. But I don't see how it is for the best. I think it was just a little more buddy cop than maybe Disney wanted it, than Lucasfilm wanted it. But
I think so.
That doesn't sound bad.
No,
like I'm sure that's how it was. Like when Han Solo and like Lando were like running together back in the day.
Even Han and Chewie. Like imagine those two working on a movie where one of their main characters doesn't even speak English.
Yeah. Oh man, so good. But no, I think it's cool kind of seeing George Lucas come back into the fray. And it kind of makes me think that like, are we ever going to get another Star Wars, George Lucas directed Star Wars movie?
Never.
I don't know about that. I think it's too tempting for George Lucas to stay away from. Yeah. And I think if he signs the contract saying that like Disney ultimately gives creative control of Lucasfilm, then I can actually see him.
I don't know if anyone over there wants that to happen.
I agree, and I think that was like that's the kind of thing with like a breakup is like you need time apart. But I think there's been time apart to where it's like I could see them dabbling with the idea, and then what's one movie? Like I could see them definitely like, who do we need for this like movie, and then be like, oh, but again, total like chance of that happening like.
Very slim.
Yeah, very slim. But I think that would be a very interesting prospect to get a George Lucas directed Star Wars film again.
That'd be cool if he came back to do episode 9. Like, just to cap it all off.
Yeah. Even that, I kind of want Spielberg still on that.
Spielberg?
Yeah, but isn't it? Yeah. Right? No.
It's J.J. Abrams.
Abrams, yeah. Abrams doing that. Mix them up all the time. They're the same guy.
Pretty much.
But no, I'd be really interested to see what that looks like, and I don't know. I just interesting kind of thought. Like, could we ever get a George Lucas directed Star Wars movie? I don't know if the world wants that.
If it's good, sure.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think if Disney had creative control of it, I think that'd be very interesting. But we'll see.
I don't think just last comment, I don't think George would want to work on it if Disney had ultimate control anyway.
Yeah. I kind of get that, but who knows? Maybe this little spark in him that, like, man, I could be doing this.
And the money.
I could be doing this, that too, and the money. Running out of that
Why not?
billions he sold Star Wars for.
Yeah. Somehow.
Man. All right, and then in other Star Wars news too, HBO's Confederate is reportedly unlikely to happen due to Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss recent commitment to Star Wars. Deadline reports Confederate won't see the day of light anytime soon, as Benioff and Weiss will be too busy working on the new series of Star Wars movies after Game of Thrones ends. Confederate was originally supposed to be Benioff and Weiss's next project after Game of Thrones, final 9th season, which premieres in 2019. Confederate would have been set in an alternative timeline during the Third American Civil War, when the southern states secede from the Union to create a nation where slavery is not only legal but has evolved into a modern institution. The show received a strong backlash following its announcement. Benioff and Weiss would have worked on the series with Michelle Tremble, Spielman of The Good Wife, Justified, and Malcolm Spielman of Empire, Game of Thrones, Carolyn Strice, and Biddif Caulfield were on board to executive produce as well.
All right.
A lot of names.
Yeah, that was a lot of interesting names. Well, first off, Confederate. Did you have any opinion on it?
Yeah, I really wanted to see this happen, so I'm really bummed that this isn't happening. Again, for more Star Wars by these guys, it's not really a bad trade, but man, I want to see them go back to it. I want them to, like, after the Star Wars movies, I want this, like, I want to see this show. Like, It's such an interesting concept, and it's such a, I don't know, it's just alternative history stuff like that really, like, fascinates me. That's why I like Man in the High Castle so much. That's
Great
why,
show.
Yeah, such a good show. It's like, I think it's an interesting idea to kind of visit, like, the Third American Civil War. Like, that's exactly how it would have been, too. And, like, I don't know. I feel like there could be a lot of good messages that they could have given with that show and kind of show the bleak reality that would have been if the South won the Civil War.
Okay.
I don't know. To me, like, it's awesome that they're going to direct a Star Wars trilogy at the same time. I wanted to see this show real bad.
I was just, like, curious from the outside, like, what other, like, I probably wouldn't have watched it just because TV shows are not really, like, a thing for me. Like, every now and then, yeah, but yeah. So anyway, back to Star Wars. I'm interested in what their, like, actual involvement is going to be in this.
Yeah, I think they're full, like, direct. They're set to, like, write and direct.
Write and direct?
Yeah.
So we have, like, the future Rian Johnson trilogy. So they're also getting their own trilogy? That's too much.
It's a lot of Star Wars. I don't think it's too much, man. I don't know. To me, it's like I could see it's too much if it's bad.
Yeah.
But if it's good, is it too much? Like, look at these Marvel movies that, like, they keep on going on, and, like, I said the bottom would fall out on these movies, and it just hasn't because they're too good. Like, I watched Age of Ultron and what's the other one? And Civil War back to back last night. I was like, man, these movies are just so good, and, like, they get better. Even Age of Ultron, which is, like, a meh movie, is still a pretty good movie.
It's good.
I feel like if that's the way Star Wars is going too, it's like I can't really complain because that world is so cool to me.
It is, but my only concern is that they have to make up so much of it, and, like, it could go very wrong with people, and it could go very right.
I agree.
Like, with the Marvel movies, you have a lot to pull from and combine, like, different storylines and everything, so pretty much everyone has something that they do like in a movie. But with these, it's just so, like, nebulous. Like, it's up to the creators and Disney, I guess.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I just love the Star Wars world, and then with these guys, it's like with the Rian Johnson trilogy, I'm very fascinated by. I'm very excited to see what he can do after what he did to episode 8.
I'm interested.
Yeah, I'm very interested. With the Confederate, would you like? I know you said you wouldn't really have any interest because you're like a not a big TV show fan, which nor am I. But like the TV shows I do get into, I get really into, and that seems like a show I would get really into. What do you feel about like the black backlash on it that people were basically when it, I don't know if you know, but for the listeners out there who don't know, when they announced Confederate was happening, that like there was like everybody basically like, you can't make this show.
Yeah.
Like, don't make this show. Like, we're gonna boycott HBO essentially.
Yeah.
Because of just the racial tension that
Problems.
that we have in America today.
I guess my response to all of the backlash and everything was that, like, I get it. It would, and I'm not saying they shouldn't make it, but like at the same time, it would be interesting if other people are making it or other people were involved. Like, if you look at movies like the Birth of a Nation, not the original one, but the one that came out like a couple years ago, I think, made by black filmmakers or whatever, from like a black perspective on like an issue that was totally anti-black people back in the day, and like 13th on Netflix. I think it'd be more interesting if there was more of a black perspective on it, like a black lens on it, rather than, I can see why people think it's problematic because it's a lot of white story or filmmakers or storytellers or whatever making this show about like the white people enslaving black people, you know?
Yeah.
I could see why that's an issue. It's the creative world. Anything could happen, and you got to let artistic freedom reign. And when it gets made, if it's bad, then it's bad, and everyone knows it's bad, but you can't really say unless it's made. Yeah,
that's ultimately where I come down on it too. It's like, yeah, it would be interesting. Like, and I would want to watch that show too if it was from like a black director's and black writer's perspective. But I also feel like in the marketplace of creativity, I feel like if you don't like it, then just don't watch it. Like, I feel like you're giving more of a platform to it by making a big deal of it. I feel like it would hurt them a lot more if you were just to not watch it. But at the same time, it's like, it gets sticky because it's like I do feel like that story can be told really well from like any perspective. It doesn't matter like black, white. I feel like there's, in a historical sense too, I feel like a lot could be touched on, and there could be a lot of issues that are done correct. But again, we're not going to know.
Yeah,
because it's not going to be made at least until after Star Wars. So I don't know, it's just interesting. I'd pick your brain on that. I feel like that's another example of people being a little upset over something that isn't that big of a deal.
That's one of like a big issue I have just with social justice warrior. I don't like that term, but like social justice community, like outrage just happens for like no reason almost.
It's outrage for outrage's sake.
Yeah. That does happen, and like as much as I hate to agree with some people who like say that and are also like shitty people, like it does happen. Yeah, no, and it happens on both sides too, and that's what it gets to a point to where it's like, okay, you're being written on both sides. It's like on the right, it's like when Starbucks took Christmas off the Christmas cups, and like what a big fucking deal that was that everybody, especially like me growing up like super religious and like in that small conservative town, like everyone made such a big deal of it, and then just nothing. It's like they were being angry to be angry at something. And it's so ridiculous. It's like there are bigger things that you could be fighting for or being angry about, and you're choosing to be angry about a coffee cup. I feel like the same way about the left, that they get so hung up on like, don't make this TV show, like stop making art. It's so anti like their stance on everything else.
Yeah, it also gets me proud. Like, you can only make this art if you're this skin color. Like, that rubs me the wrong way too. It's like, what if you don't like it? Like I said, don't watch it. And I feel like there are other ways that your energy that you're using toward this could be used in a more positive way to make change. I feel like there are other things that could be tackled that you should be focusing your energy on, aside from two people just trying to make entertainment, trying to make a show, trying to tell a story, regardless of skin color. But again, that's coming from a cis straight white male like me, so it's like, I don't know. I just find it so fascinating that how angry people get about like the dumbest shit.
In journalism, we have like the marketplace of ideas. And once I learned about that in school, I kind of like applied it to pretty much every aspect of life. Like, basically it's, if an idea is bad, just like a product is bad, then it won't be taken on by anyone. So, you know, it's okay to have bad ideas. It's okay for people to be Nazis because
how many Nazis are in America?
Yeah.
How many people are in America?
And how many people like...
Now, what percentage of Americans are Nazis?
As a people, we hate Nazis. Like, the humanity, not just America, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. Like, I agree. And that's where like, I've had this discussion on your show, Good Life Digest, about like comedy, about like, it's the same idea. It's like, there is like, there's no such thing as like, not bad comedy, because there's always going to be bad comedy, but like, you can't get mad at a bad joke.
Yeah. Like,
you can't, because a good joke and a bad joke come from the same place. And then it's the same thing with like I was saying, like Nazis, like how many, not like categorically the KKK and Nazis are smaller than they've probably ever been in America. And it's such a small percentage, but they get the most televised, so it seems a lot bigger than it is. Just let the marketplace of ideas kind of work itself out, and I feel like it's worked time and time again. That like, have a shitty view, like, be like, and have a shitty view. No one, you're gonna be the only one shouting that from the rooftops, and no one's gonna be taking you seriously or listening to you. If it's legitimately shitty, then the whole world will let you know. It's not just a subsection of people, you know. Yeah, that's what I was saying on. It was another podcast. It's all muddled. But about like the rape thing, it's like no one's in the corner going like, "Woo!" like rape, I'm all for it. We're all categorically against rapists and like sexual assault. Like, there's no one who's like championing sexual assault. So it's like, it's one of those things where you just kind of have to take a step back and like get perspective of everything. And like, should I really be this mad about this? No. The answer probably no. Not until it comes out, and then it does something horrible, like when it this is how it should be. Yeah. Then there's cause for concern, but there's no one's seen anything of what this show could even possibly be. Exactly. And I agree. But it's just interesting how mad people get. I always find that fascinating. In last entertainment piece of news that we have, MoviePass, if you're familiar, is this subscription service where it allows you to see one movie a day for $9.95 a month. It has finally reached 2 million subscribers. This is less than a month after MoviePass reached 1.5 million subscribers, and 7 weeks after hitting 1 million subscribers. MoviePass has continued to gain new subscribers at a rapid rate since it's lowered its monthly subscription fee from $50 to $9.95 this past August. In September of last year, the company projected to reach 2.5 million subscribers over the next 12 months. Based on the dramatic increase in the number of MoviePass subscribers over such a short period of time, we believe that MoviePass will continue to grow its subscriber base significantly, MoviePass CEO Mitch Lau said. All right. I just want to throw this piece of news in there because I think it's interesting how much MoviePass has grown from something I've never heard of to where something that was $50 a month to $9.95 to go see any movie once a day. $9.95 is
ridiculous.
That is a steal.
Yeah.
Good sir. That's less than a movie ticket.
Yeah, and I know there's like a lot of restrictions and everything, but like you go to one movie and a month and you basically pay for
Well, even
everything.
with the restrictions, it's like you just have to be like close to a movie theater, and then like from where I am right now, Movie Pass actually reaches like the local theater in Hayward.
Can you see any movie?
Yeah, essentially. Now, I know on the bottom of this article, I forgot what it said. I think it was AMC. Is now you can't use Movie Pass with it, which is weird. I don't even know how they make it work. I don't even know the back end of this business. But yeah. I could either see this saving movie theaters or killing them off. Like, I feel like this is very, like, it's one way or the other. And I could kind of see it saving movie theaters. I could see a lot more people going to see movies at a lot more frequent rate than they would have with Movie Pass.
I think so, especially because of the extreme low cost. Like, going from $60 to $10 is ridiculous just in itself. But then $10 to see a movie every day for a month, like, potentially is just like it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly. And then especially like in this house, I know my roommates, I tag along every once in a while, but like my roommates every Tuesday at the discounted movie like rates on Tuesdays here, they go like every week, every Tuesday. So it's like if they had this, they're paying $9.95.
And didn't even have to worry about
$40.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
And there's so many great movies that come out that are like under the radar, I guess,
or even movies you wouldn't necessarily see. Like
yeah,
like Lucy when that came out. Like I wouldn't necessarily see that, but
no.
Like if I had Movie Pass and I was bored on a Thursday night, I could go and watch Lucy for free, essentially.
Yeah. There's so much potential for this, and yeah, I could see it saving movie theaters, but I'm not like a economist or anything. I don't know exactly how it works, and like I remember years and years ago they started with just AMC theaters, I believe, and I thought that was a cool idea back then, and it's only gotten the ranges just grew and grew. So I think people are more prone to buy subscription-based services these days than like a la carte. Yeah,
especially if they like. I mean, shoot, if you go see movies like if you see a movie twice a month, like this is a no-brainer for you.
Yeah.
Even if it's once a month, like you said, like it's already paid for itself.
I think I might pick it up one of these days.
I want to dabble. I want to see. I mean, $9.95. Like that's.
Why not?
Like that's what? That's a meal, or that's 2 Starbucks.
That's
drinks.
Popcorn and a drink at a movie theater.
Yeah, and then I also can see movie theaters making a lot off the back end off this too. Like if you're getting that many people into theaters, like where do they make most of their money? Concessions.
Yeah.
Be interested. It's weird that AMC pulled out like that because it's like I'm sure that benefits them significantly. Now they just have people not okay. I just won't go to AMC.
Yeah, I guess I could. The AMC theaters are a little more like upscale, I guess, than you're just like the average theater. So I could see why they would do that, because maybe they think they have more of a quality product, but like it's really not that much different.
It's not.
No, yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like you're kind of dumb to like do that. But
and we still have like boutique theaters too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So I've never actually been to a boutique theater.
They're pretty cool. I recommend it. Highly recommend it.
I'm all about the restaurant theaters though. I'll tell you what. Get those mac and cheese bites.
Ooh.
While I'm sitting there watching The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Bring out a milkshake. I'm just sitting there.
Oh my god. And then anytime they just come up to you and they're so sneaky too. You're like, they're right there.
Yeah.
Right there next to you.
Sneak around, crawling on all fours, popcorn on their back.
I know. It's amazing. Amazing time we live in here in America. So good.
It's not slavery.
No, not at all. Are you going to see Black Panther?
Yeah. I wanted to get opening night tickets at the Alamo Draft House in San Francisco, but hooey, that sold out fast.
That's what you're doing.
Did not expect that, because I got Thor tickets like the day before, and that was no big deal.
That's what's so great about living in the East Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I can always go see Star Wars. Every Star Wars movie I was able to go see opening night without any problems. Reserve seat, nice seat, everything. Now, I'm having difficulty. So if you're watching this and you're in the East Bay, if you know a good restaurant theater over here in the East Bay, let me know. Let your boy know.
I can't think of any. I
want to get on that. Because I'll tell you what, I'm so excited for Black Panther.
They're great. Black Panther's going to be great. Boy, I watched Thor Ragnarok 3 times, and I feel like I'm going to watch Black Panther even more.
Good. Man. What a time to be alive, Eli. Speaking of time to be alive, into gaming news.
Yes.
And this is more directed toward me. I just want to talk about this. New Crash Bandicoot is a possibility. Max Aguilera, manager of merchandising company GBI, is responsible for the rumor following an expert spotted in DHX Brands licensing sourcebook Europe. He also stated that Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy would be coming to the PC and Switch. The new game has a huge success at retail with no marketing spend. Next year, it's going to be broader, Switch and PC, and there will be no another game in 2019. Activision has a 5-year plan for this. GBI is delighted to be fully on board for all projects.
For those of you just listening, when he said Insane Trilogy was coming to Switch, my mouth dropped open because that
Are you not fucking excited? Now, there's a little bit of me, a little bit of a PlayStation fanboy inside of me, a little young Mike Doherty.
Yeah.
Who is so hardcore PlayStation, growing up with PlayStation, that it kills me a little bit inside that it's going to other consoles.
It's been on Nintendo consoles before.
This month, I'm making a dive for a Switch.
Really?
And I can't wait to fucking play those games again, even though I've pretty much platinumed all of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited.
You can play it on the go now.
I know.
Imagine
I get the
that.
Bandicoot on the go, not in 4K.
No, that's true.
But on the go.
Everything's better on the go.
Everything's better on the go.
You don't need 4K.
No 4K. Not needed. But, dude, I'm so excited. And then the new game, I think it's going to be CTR. Because I think in that year of production, they could crank out one CTR remaster. And then after that, I think it's a new game.
So you think the CTR remastered is the next thing?
I think that's the 2019 game that's going to be slated. We're going to get an announcement at E3. Mark my words. Remember this.
Okay.
Eli. It's going to be announced at E3. It's going to be Crash Remastered, and they're going to announce the next game, the new game, which is going to be 2020.
Wow.
All in the same time, because Crash Bandicoot is hype right now. And then releasing at CTR. More people have more nostalgia for the CTR than they do for actual Crash games.
Which is weird.
It is really weird, but I've noticed that. I've noticed more people on my Facebook feed of just people like older people who have no interest in video games,
all the Crash
posting
Bandicoot
IGN
Facebook
video
groups.
of oh, wouldn't it be cool to get a CTR? Those dumb fucking videos.
Yeah.
Where every fucking outlet has 9 of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's wouldn't this be cool to get this back? I hate those fucking videos. But yeah, posting that and be like, oh my gosh, I want this to happen. It's weird. It's weird, how people are more attached to the kart racer than the actual core games. But that kart racer is so good.
I'm surprised more people.
Best kart racer ever. Hands down.
We'll
if they
see.
remaster it, update the visuals, everything, best kart racer ever. Just mark my words.
Mario Kart 8, pretty good.
I'm telling you.
Pretty good.
Right now, sir. CTR remastered beats Mario Kart 8. But just blows out of the water. It's not even a competition.
All right.
You gotta play it, sir. Have you ever played CTR?
I don't think so.
You'll see. You're about to have your fucking base blown off. Sir.
Okay.
So good.
Sure.
So good. But I'm excited.
And you think that's 2019?
I think, CTR's 2019 game that he's talking about. And then I think the new game is going to be 2020. And the only reason I think that is because Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy took a year to remaster.
Okay.
That's 3 games.
Yeah.
From when they announced it to release, it was just about a year.
Okay.
A little over, because it was in June. And I guess E3's in June too, right?
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
So, so it's in June. And then this one, CTR, a year, 2019. It's gonna be announced at E3 and then released in like summer of 2019. And then I could see them the new game. Of course, is gonna need a little longer than a year, so give them 2 years to develop the new game. Boom, 2020.
All right.
Now it's the same time.
I hope so. I hope it comes sooner.
Just mind blows.
Mind blows.
Explodes everywhere.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what Sean Layden's shirt predicts.
That bastard. It's gonna be Spyro too. Watch.
Didn't he have Spyro last year?
Did he? I don't think he had a Spyro shirt yet.
Ever?
Mark my words too. We're getting a Spyro remaster. I'm telling you, this is the year. Man, these last couple years have been good to me. I'll tell you what.
I'd play a Spyro remastered game over Crash.
So fucking.
In my opinion.
Fuck you, Eli. That's what I think about you, sir.
Wow. I have more history with Spyro. That's all I gotta say.
To each his own. I love Spyro too. I'd play the fuck out of a Spyro remaster. Mostly the first game, because that's where more of my nostalgia lies. But they put that little purple bastard in CTR.
Interesting.
I'll tell you what.
We're building up that PlayStation mascot universe.
It might not even be PlayStation anymore, because like it's going Switch and PC, which is weird. We're not Xbox.
But who's pushing it? Who's getting the ball rolling? Sony.
You're right. No, and that's gonna be interesting too, to actually see Mario kind of have competition. Like the way that Crash game sold, Mario's gonna have competition again. Yeah, which is gonna be very interesting with the same level. Like there are people like me who grew up with Crash who have the same level of nostalgia for Crash than my older brother did for Mario.
Okay.
So we're in a weird, strange time where it's like we're actually gonna start.
The mascot wars are coming back.
That's what I'm talking about.
Where's Master Chief?
Where the fuck is Master Chief?
Yeah. Who cares?
God, Halo 5 was so bad. Speaking of cool announcements, I guess, Bandai Namco is rumored to be working on a Metroid Prime 4 for Switch. According to reports earlier this week, Bandai Namco was reported to be working on Ridge Racer 8 and an unannounced first-person shooter game. For both of which are Switch exclusives, according to the resume of a Bandai Namco developer on LinkedIn. Always these links with goddamn LinkedIn.
Stop posting stuff on LinkedIn.
Yeah, nobody learns. Now it looks like the FPS game might well be Metroid Prime 4. According to multiple sources, Eurogamer reports the rumor the game is in development at Bandai Namco. Bandai Namco. It's too late. Has been verified by its sources, although the studio has made no official confirmation on the matter. Metroid Prime 4 is apparently being worked on by Bandai Namco Studios Singapore, which Eurogamer says is the lead studio on the game in collaboration with Nintendo. And then, and this was confirmed. They announced that E3 last year.
Okay.
So.
My thoughts?
Yeah.
Could never get past like the first few hours of Metroid Prime 1. So I have no really ties to Metroid at all. Bandai Namco, pretty competent developers though, so I'm sure it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of excited to see, like, is this gonna get like the Breath of the Wild treatment? Like, is this gonna completely reshape of like what Metroid is? That's what I'm excited for, because the old Metroid I can give two fucks about. But if they were to revamp it and make it like a Breath of the Wild situation, count me in. Ooh, doctor.
I can see that. Like imagine. Well, I don't know. I guess I haven't played enough Metroid Prime to say like what it is, but I'm thinking like maybe like a Fallout style Metroid game. That could probably. I'm
interested too, because it's a first-person shooter too. Yeah, so it's gonna be very interesting.
And on the Switch too, which is like personally not my favorite place to play first-person shooters, just because there's no triggers, it's just buttons on the back. Really bad. Yeah, so we'll see. You
don't have that Pro controller?
No.
Fucking up. We're gonna, like I said, when I get my Switch, gotta have you over for Mario Kart.
Oh yeah.
Play some Cario Mart.
Where
you gotta finish your drink by the end of the race.
I'm sorry?
I said you gotta finish your drink by the end of the race.
Okay.
It's real wild.
Yeah, that sounds fun actually.
That's what I'm about.
Anything Mario Kart is right up my alley. Crash Team Racing,
We'll see, man.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you a believer. Just
we'll
wait.
see.
We're gonna have a launch party for that.
All right.
Just have everyone over.
2019.
That'd be so exciting. I like the idea of that. Well,
I like that.
So there's also been layoffs in Capcom Vancouver. Capcom Vancouver has undergone a reconstruction, which has impacted approximately 30% of the studio. As part of its regular periodic assessment of upcoming projects and overall studio goals, the team is continuing to work hard to support the recent release of Puzzle Fighter for mobile and is dedicated to its flagship Dead Rising series. According to a source that spoke to Kotaku, Capcom Vancouver's unannounced project has been canceled, and Capcom has cut the scope of the next Dead Rising game. The unannounced game has been greenlit as of earlier as a very early prototype. Fuck, man, it's too late for me. The title would have been a third-person action-adventure game taking place in an alternative reality version of New York. Dead Rising 3 is fucked.
Dead Rising 3?
That's what I got from this.
Aren't we on like 6?
Feels like it. Too goddamn long.
Yeah, there's too many Dead Rising. I'm surprised that that's their flagship game. Like, I get it. They've been making them pretty consistently for the past, like, 10 years. But, like, I don't know. When I think Capcom, I don't think Dead Rising. I think, like, Street Fighter or something.
I mean, especially with the next... Yeah, I think that's phasing out since Monster Hunter World's Capcom's fastest-selling game ever. Which was a surprise to me when I read this.
Congratulations.
Yeah, for real. Monster Hunter World has been flying off the shelves by all accounts, with 5 million copies shipped in 3 days.
Jeez.
God damn. Capcom. Wow. Following its launch, Capcom has also reported units have shipped has reached 6 million mark, making it the fastest selling Capcom game to date. And that's just on consoles. The PC version has the potential to inject some momentum into the game's sales figures when it releases later this year. Capcom announced the milestone on its website, which later shared on the official Japanese Monster Hunter World Twitter account. While units shipped isn't the same as units sold, it's an indicator of the game's popularity. Monster Hunter World is currently sitting at the top of the paid games category on Xbox One and PlayStation Store, beating out PUBG.
Damn. PUBG got beat.
God damn.
Finally.
I'll tell you what. Didn't see this coming. Didn't see it being this big of a thing.
Not at all.
6 million shipped, 5 million sold. Like, that's like not small potatoes.
And like 3 days, 5 million sold in 3 days.
That's ridiculous.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Monster Hunter? Get out of here.
I know.
That's ridiculous.
The only people I heard talking about Monster Hunter before were these people have been playing Monster Hunter for years on the 3DS. And people like, I don't know, Japanese people or people who are into Japanese culture.
Yeah.
There's a word for it. I'm not going to say it.
Jesus.
You know who you are. But, I'm surprised it's doing so well, especially on console, because it's like pretty much been a handheld game. It's in its entirety, I think. So yeah, I'm surprised. It's just doing so well outside of Japan.
Congrats! I mean, hats off to Capcom. Like I said, I played it. Not my game. I'm letting you borrow my copy.
Hey.
Yeah, so get into it because
I'll give it a shot.
Make the $60 worth it. And like I said earlier in the episode, Year of the Kart Racer, Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing, which is a terrible fucking name. A leaked internal presentation suggests that Sumo Digital has a new kart racing game in development. Could it be another Sonic and Sega All-Stars racer? Or slides from the presentation were posted on Reset Era after the link to the original was removed. As well as the karting game, there are apparently 2 first-person shooter titles also in works. As with most leaks, these details could be out to date or false, but if correct, the details included are interesting. The in-development slide cites a multiple project collaboration with an internal publishing partner for a PC console PC to console, first-person shooter. The second title mentions an unannounced major partner for an original first-person shooter within the established global IP. The unannounced carding game will also be part of an established global IP with original development. Soma Digital has previously developed the Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing series, so odds are the kart racer title would be another entry into the franchise. Dead Island 2 is another already in development at the studio after it took over a year Jaeger development in 2016. So one of the first-person shooter games could refer to that title. And then, of course, rumors of Perfect Dark swirling around. The other game could be Perfect Dark.
Remake or a remaster?
I think it's not clear. I think it's a relaunch, like a hard reset on Perfect Dark.
Interesting.
The kart racer also could be Crash Team Racing.
It could be.
I could see Sumo Digital doing the remaster for Crash Team Racing. But the Sega games are really popular, the racing kart racers, which I played them. Not bad kart racers.
Yeah.
Not Mario Kart, but not bad.
Sega's not Nintendo. They never have been.
You know what I say? Sega can, but Nintendo don't.
Okay. He dropped the paper. That was basically a mic drop. Sega's fine. Sonic's not that good.
Sega's terrible. Just as a Sony kid, Sega's terrible.
Yeah. And when you say Sega All-Stars, Sonic and Sega All-Stars or whatever?
It's Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. What a fucking terrible name for
Who are these Sega All-Stars they're talking about?
Pac-Man. Is that even Sega?
Really?
No, that's not even a Sega All-Star.
Yeah. I'm just thinking...
Tails?
I can only think of Sonic characters. Like, all right, we got Knuckles... Tails. Just make it a Sonic kart racer.
They want to add I don't even know. I don't know another Sega property.
Else?
Jet Set Radio?
I mean they make like the Alien games, like Alien,
I guess, man.
Whatever
throw
it's
an
called.
Alien in that.
Yeah, throw a Xenomorph in there.
Weird would that look?
Pretty weird, but they need all they can get right now. That's their biggest all-star.
Man, I feel it. It's just interesting. Like I said, I could see that being the
Crash Team
Racing, which would be interesting.
I only relate Sumo to Little Big Planet 3
and Mod Nation Racers. Don't you forget.
And Mod Nation. Okay, I wasn't sure if they made that too. So, yeah, why couldn't it be Crash Team Racing?
I could totally see it.
Yeah.
That Little Big Planet. Hopefully, it's nothing like a Little Big Planet Racing.
No, Little Big Planet's dead. I'm sorry, guys.
I agree. I agree.
Like 3, whatever.
1 was an alright game. 2 was an alright game.
The PSP one was pretty good. I'll give them that.
You mean Vita or PSP?
PSP.
The Vita one was the definitive version.
Oh, really?
But some people forget about the Vita, and that's why it's dead. Eli.
I just never had one. I don't forget. I'm not gonna buy one.
Bastard.
Sorry.
You bastard. That's why it failed. That's why it fell.
Yeah.
Fell from glory.
Switch has it beat at this point.
I know, bastards. Crafty bastards at Nintendo.
Long live the PSP.
God, for real. What a system. Let's just take a moment and talk about the PSP. I feel like that's what's important.
Okay. I still have my original PSP.
God damn, what a console. The original? Is it the fat one or is it the slim one?
It was, okay, not the original, my original. So it was the second generation one.
Me too. I had that one too.
Yeah.
The Daxter bundle.
I don't think it was a bundle. Just straight up PSP.
That's what I'm talking about. I got a Daxter bundle for getting straight C's in school.
Nice.
That's how bad I failed at school. My mom was like, just get a C and like I'll buy you something nice.
I mean, Daxter wasn't that great. The punishment fits the crime.
Was fucking great. That was a great game.
Okay.
I hate you so much, Eli. Daxter was a phenomenal PSP game.
It was fine.
I hate you. PSP was a great console, though.
PSP was great.
Never forget.
Yeah.
Now, for the last story, rounding out the stories, the Google Box rumor. Have you heard of this?
No.
You haven't? Okay, here we go. Strap in your feet bags, ladies and gentlemen. Google may be preparing to make a big grab at the global video game business by launching its own subscription-based game streaming service, reports the information. citing sources with knowledge of the project, the Google service could be offered via Google's Chromecast or potentially even a Google-made console. According to the report, the streaming service plan, apparently codenamed Yeti, has been kicking around the halls of the tech giant for around 2 years. It also points to former Xbox and PlayStation executive Phil Harrison joining Google last month as vice president and GM, as a sign something may indeed be afoot. Harrison also served as on the advisory board of cloud gaming service provider Gaikai prior to Gaikai's acquisition of Sony Interactive Entertainment in 2012. That was only in 2012.
Yeah.
That seems so much farther.
I remember that happening.
They were in bad shape. Remember how much their stocks were down?
Gaikai?
Sony when they acquired Gaikai, and people are like, why are you spending this much money? And we still don't know the answer.
Yeah.
We still have no idea why they spent that much money. And I remember that was around the time PlayStation All-Stars was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I was a stoked young Millad.
Should have spent more money on that.
For real.
Gaikai, who needs it?
Such a sad development. And from just getting on this PlayStation All-Stars thing, so we browsed, kind of touched on it too. Such a sad, story for, a publisher, because I've been working on a video essay on PlayStation All-Stars, and I've been reaching around to a couple of, developers. Sounds like it went pretty sour.
Yeah.
Reaching out for information. Sounds like it did not end well. There's a lot of stuff that, I won't talk about on record, of course. But it doesn't sound like they were very happy with Sony at all, because I feel like it was an expectation that they set, and then they reached it, and they were like, it's still not good enough. We're pulling the plug on this.
There wasn't a lot of support by Sony, and there wasn't a lot of people buying it.
I mean, $1 million's not bad for an exclusive.
Yeah.
Especially PS3. I think if you release that in PlayStation 4 now, I think you have a very different story.
Yeah, especially because there's no Smash out there right now. I mean, there's the Wii U one, but that's years old, and who has a Wii U? Mm-hmm. And people want that Smash on the Switch. Sony comes in under the rug, gives you PS All-Stars with
Crash Bandicoot.
Bandicoot to the whatever 70 million PS4 owners out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that we'd be looking at a very different story.
Yeah.
God, if only they just waited. Why'd they have to pull the plug so soon?
And I don't know. I don't know if they could do it again. It was Superbot, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a pretty good system going on. It wasn't a bad game.
No, it was a really good game. I platinumed that game night one. I platinumed that game the day I got it. Okay. Yeah, I was very hardcore into that game. I was so excited for that game when that came out. And it's just sad that studio shuttered.
Mm-hmm.
You saw nothing else from them. And I just feel like I could see Sony doing a remaster of that game. Not a remaster, but bringing it over to PS4 to test the waters and see if they could do it again. I could see them being that crazy enough to do that.
I hope so. I really, really had fun with it. And Nintendo's not giving us Smash anytime soon, it looks like. So why not? Second best, which isn't bad.
Yeah, not bad company.
Yeah.
But with the Google rumor.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this? How do you feel about Google trying to make their way into the gaming space?
I'm unsure of what this even means, really. Because they have their whole Android system, so it could be an Android thing. We don't know.
Another fucking Ouya.
Yeah, something like that. That's my fear.
Please God, no.
Or it could be that, or it could be a competitor with Steam or something. Because who's one of the biggest tech names out there? Google. Internet-based anything, you go with Google,
Launch day. Team Fortress 3.
I don't know if they could do that.
Partner with Steam, son.
Oh, partner with Steam?
The power of Google.
Steam does need some work, some cleaning up.
What if they did? What if they combined the Google box with the Steam box?
That'd be a powerhouse.
It'd be interesting. I think that's the only way this succeeds.
Uh-huh.
Is them attaching and being this, we're getting into it this way. we have a proven like publisher with us,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna make the hardware for it. I think if they try to take them head on, I don't think it's gonna end very well.
No.
And it would be also really interesting to have another American-based company in the game space,
Mm-hmm.
seeing how Microsoft's not doing too well.
My thing is, with an American-based one like Microsoft, will it just fail? Like, Microsoft hasn't failed, but like failed to reach.
Oh, it's failed everywhere
international.
else. Yeah, it's fair. It's
Yeah.
failed everywhere. It's amazing, like how much the U.S. market kind of keeps something up, like an Xbox. Like it's still selling really well, and it only really sells in America.
I personally just don't know like the pull that Google has around the world outside of the U.S. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be very interesting. It'd be interesting. I see it working out in these Japanese markets if they put out RPGs, like JRPGs, like games that they like, you know. But, yeah, it's weird. It's a weird future to think about Google trying to get in. But again, this is the same thing people said about Xbox and Sony when they were trying to get in. So it's like, could it happen? Maybe.
I think it's too late for them. We're already at a space where consoles are nothing like they used to be. Like the time when Microsoft came out with Xbox, it was a little more reasonable and like conceivable to put out a new console. But right now in this space, it's kind of crazy. Like unless they could be the first modular console, you know?
Is that what do you mean by that?
Like you buy your basic like Xbox, for example, and then you take out bits and pieces and upgrade it to a 1X, but you don't buy a 1X. You just replace like the chips and stuff, the processors.
Interesting. That'd be very interesting.
Because they've in the past they have like a lot of ideas and prototypes for modular cell phones, so I could see that coming into the console space.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. And sorry about that. That, and then I can also see, like I said, like I think a partnership would kind of help them.
Yeah,
like something big. And then we know Amazon's trying to get into the game space too.
They are.
Not in like an Amazon box. Please God, don't do that. But with like video game like games, like it would be it's just gonna be an interesting time. Everyone's trying to cash in on this.
Just like how GameStop started making their own games, you know, it's just an evolving platform. And I mean, Amazon, they don't need the money like GameStop does to stay afloat, but Amazon produced game could be pretty good. Like their movies are.
I mean, look at The Big Sick.
Yeah.
I mean, won so many awards last year. All right, I guess this year too. And it was a Amazon Studios film, and it was put out in theaters, and it's free on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, they have a lot of money to throw around.
Be very interesting. Interesting how this works out. Eli.
Yes.
We're getting to the last segment of this podcast.
All right.
Games that for those of you, this is a very different like style podcast from Completely Consensual than usual. This is my first. I wanted to take a shot, see how this works with the news format. So leave feedback down below, see if you like this news format. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, hopefully I'll be able to film more guests and be able to interview more, have it in. Like I said, when big games come out, it's going to be a lot easier not to stay away from the news and just have you jump in and kind of talk about what's going on there. What's the future of that?
We're in a little slow spot right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why an interesting time to kind of
just look at things.
Play with like the news format.
Yeah.
For Completely Consensual. But I wanted to have a little topic to show. Eli?
Yeah.
What is the best game experience you've had, or like most fun game experience you've had in your lifetime?
So I was thinking about this, and I'd say like the most fun I had with games was definitely when I was younger, like elementary school and stuff, and everything was just fun. And I'd play like the crappy Spider-Man 3 tie-in game, and I had so much fun. I bought it twice. I bought it on the Wii, and I was swinging around with my Wiimotes.
Oh God, so bad.
And I had a lot of fun. But I gotta go with my most fun I've ever had with a game, Borderlands 2. It was me and my buddy Jake, my best friend, just playing through it. I'd say, you know what? Not just Borderlands 2, the entire Borderlands trilogy. Wow. Like, it's such a fun game in itself. Like, the writing is funny, the gameplay loop, the hooks, like, it really gets you in. You play it multiple times, multiple characters, multiple builds. Like, it's endless fun on its own. And then you throw in playing with, like, your best friends and just goofing off and doing, like, these crazy missions where you're fighting, like, quote-unquote Ninja Turtles in the sewers. And it's just, like, I can't even explain how much fun it is. I'm not the best Borderlands player or anything. Like, I don't get super into it, but my buddy Jake pretty much would run through it just to get as many runs in and grind as much as he can to get, like, the best loot and everything. So just the polar opposite dynamics that we had playing together really, like, built this unique experience where I was always, like, going around checking every loot box, seeing, like, oh, maybe I could get some more ammo. I don't know. I probably don't need another 500 bullets, but maybe I could. And then he's out, like, 2 miles ahead of me onto the next quest, and we're just talking, pretty much, hanging out. It's one of those games where you can just hang out and play, but also something will capture you while you're playing, and you're both silent, like, this is an intense game.
Yeah.
Like, there's boss fights and everything. Kind of like Destiny, but I'm not going to go into that. It's just like a platform for you to hang out with your friends and also play games with them at the same time.
Yeah. Well, and it's like the time and place too of the game. Like, do you ever get, like, the nostalgic feelings of, like, I know exactly, like, how that day felt?
Yeah.
Playing a game and, like,
yeah,
where I was, what the room lighting was, like, what, like, just like who was with me, and, like, just, like, the feeling you got when playing the games. Like, oh man, it's so good. Like, I always harken back to when the updated Twisted Metal came out on PS3. I remember it was a snow day, and I was high school, I think. And it was a snow day, and I just remember, like, or I was hoping for a snow day the next day, and it was just snow coming down outside, and I was just like, yes, let's just hunker in and play this game, and just playing that game. It's like, it's weird how you, like, attach things like that to like, memories. Like,
yeah.
that. Like, it's just so weird, and I just remember being like a warm feeling, like, oh yeah, I get to play this all day tomorrow, I don't have school, like, kind of a feeling. With me, a big one, Crash Bash, which was, like, the party game for Crash games. I just remember sitting, Indian style with my sister, just beating all the levels and trying to, like, 100% it.
That was, like, PS1, right?
Yep.
I definitely played that.
It was the last Crash game on the PlayStation 1. It's good, actually pretty good too. Yeah. So man, that game. Just, like, getting all, like, the trophies, the crystals, and the gems in each level, and, like, man, that game's just so good. And then again, nostalgia. If I went back and I played it with no nostalgia, it probably wouldn't be as good.
Unless they remaster it
Again, please don't remaster Crash Bash. I mean,
okay.
I would like it, but, like, you would have to update some things.
That's okay. Remake it.
Polar push. You get on the little polar bears and knock each other off the ice. I'll tell you what.
Fun?
Undefeated.
Okay.
I'll take any motherfucker at that.
You hear that, Crash fans?
Challenge me. Come at me, bro. 1v1 me. And then iToy.
iToy, okay. Tell me about iToy.
Doctor.
What do you have to say about iToy?
I got iToy on Christmas. And I just remember playing that fucking boxing and window. That's the only things I remember about this game. It's like a weird monkey level, and then, like, wiping the windows.
Yeah.
And then boxing. And that's all I remember. But, like, I remember, like, how, like, I would play the shit out of this too. Like, it's not just like the gimmicky thing you get for Christmas and you try it once and you never play again. Like, we would, like, bring, like, the PS2 over to my aunt's house, or she had one, so, like, the memory card and then the game over to my aunt's house, setting it up, and then just making nights of this. And this would happen, like, on a weekly basis. Like, we'd have iToy nights.
Wouldn't you get
Really
tired?
weird. That's what, especially with like me. I'm a big boy, but no, like I hung in. It was just like it was just so much fun. It was like I just remember like playing it over and over and over and over again. And man, it's just one of those things where it's like, this is such a dumb gimmick, but I had so much fun with it.
When you're a kid, these gimmicks really get you.
It really does.
Yeah.
And I like with the Nintendo Labo thing coming out with the cardboard.
Yeah.
I could just see right now like all the kids who are gonna have nostalgia for that down the line because like it's dumb things like that that are gonna get you so hyped about a game, and that you'll, like I said, you'll just play the shit out. Like you said, you'll play any shitty superhero game licensed piece of crap that came out on the PS2 and just play the shit out of that. Like I not a bad game. But Spider-Man 1 or 2.
Spider-Man 2 is great.
Both of those. I think it was Spider-Man 1, though, because Green Goblin, wasn't it?
Okay.
I played the shit out of that game.
Yeah.
Just over and over and over. It was so much fun. And then, like, the original Battlefront 1, I remember my brother's like, oh, clean your room. And then, like, I cleaned my room. And then he came and he's like, oh, you cleaned it? And then he's like, here's Battlefront 2. On like PS2,
Battlefront 2.
1 on PS2. I was like, oh, I was so stoked about it, and I just sat there and played it. And then like Star Wars Episode 3, like the actual movie came
underrated game.
So I don't know if I had this conversation. I melted all. I'm sure I talked about it on the podcast in the last like month or so. Such a fucking underrated game. Good God, those lightsaber battles, like with you and a friend, just playing lightsaber battles. Such man, and then I remember staying up with my friend all night trying to unlock every Jedi for like the battles. And like I just remember like it was the Mace Windu fight and we couldn't get fucking past this level. And we're up. It was like 4 a.m. We were like all coked up on like fucking caffeine and like pizza or whatever the shit I was shoving down my throat then.
Of course, everyone's done it.
Yeah, and just like trying to, and I remember passing out and then like waking up to screams and like, oh, he finally beat it. I was like, oh my God, we gotta go play with Mace Windu because Mace Windu is like my favorite like Star Wars character, and I just played the fuck out of that game.
Great game.
Good game.
I had a lot of licensed games I had a lot of fun with just because
you're a
dumb kid. Yeah,
you're dumb, but they're so much fun. Like Tak, the Power of Juju. I remember was another one that I really played. I don't know if that was licensed yet. I don't know if that was a cartoon before the game, or the game came before the cartoon. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Fun game, though. I remember playing the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
I remember I got that because my family, I said Jack, and they thought I meant Tak.
And you got
Tak. I got Tak. And I played the fuck out of it because my mom was not about to go back to GameStop during that.
Both good games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Tak's fair. Tak is fair. Bring back Tak, maybe.
Bring back Tak. Hashtag bring back the Tak.
Yeah. Forget Jack. Jack had his storyline wrapped up, but where's the Tak?
Where'd Tak go? That's the real question everyone needs to ask themselves.
We need a 4K Tak.
4K Tak and the Power of Juju.
I don't even know who made that, but
it was an Activision game. That's all I know about
Nickelodeon games.
I don't know. I don't think so.
No?
It wasn't a cartoon until after the game, I believe. Well, weird games like that. It's so weird. I haven't thought about Tak.
No, yeah.
Ever.
I played a lot of Tak, but I don't talk about it. I don't even remember it, really.
I remember there's like spider webs you jumped on.
He had like
There's
stick.
some old fucking dude that you talked to.
I don't know.
Whipped up some potions.
I just remember the look of him, and there's like a theme song for the show.
Yeah.
I watched the show more than I played the game. That's all I'm saying.
Weird, man, weird. Anything else? Anything else you got?
I think I want to go with Battlefront Galactic Assault. Which one's the one on PSP?
Fuck. There was a bunch.
It's some like sort of name.
Yeah, the first one or like the one near the end?
I think it was the first one.
Yeah, I think it was like a Galactic Assault.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, whichever one that one was, so back in middle school, back in 6th grade, everyone that I knew had a DS and was playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon because that game was fucking awesome.
Fucking nerds.
But I didn't have a DS, so I had a PSP. And let me tell you, PSP games are real games. DS games are handheld games. That's all I'm going to say.
True.
So I would sneak my PSP to school with Star Wars Battlefront in it. The UMD. Shout out to UMDs.
Shout out.
I still have a bunch of them. Busted out at lunch while everyone's playing their Pokemon, and I'm over here playing Star Wars, just straight wrecking these battle droids. Like, I'd basically be a one-man army and kill like the entire team of battle droids. Anyway, and my most like fond memory of that game is running the mile for PE with my PSP tucked into my waistband. That way, after I ran it, I would I could whip it out, hide behind like the big container thing that has like, I don't know, trash probably, and I would sit behind it and play my PSP and play Star Wars Battlefront during PE.
So good. And
that's when I knew like physical games, not for me. Sports, nah.
I'll
I'm
sit
good.
here and play my PSP. I was that kid too.
Yeah.
Game Boy out in the outfield, the little McDonald's toys meals that you get.
Oh yeah, those were cool.
Outfield during T-ball, just sitting down, picking dandelions, playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
I was that kid. No, dude, what a different, like, man, that's like something for our generation too. Sneaking the PSP to school.
Yes.
And like playing it on the bus and being like such a big fucking deal. Like, man, that's something like no one else really has. Like, I remember what a big deal having the PSP was.
That PSP was like, it felt like an expensive thing. Mm-hmm. Like, it was weighty. There's metal on it. There was glass all over it. And it was
changing
like,
the fucking discs.
Yeah.
Oh god, there's like such nostalgia around the PSP for me.
I felt like I would get in trouble from my parents for like just bringing it there and like I could break it or something. And I was like, you know, I don't want to break it, but if my parents found out I brought it to school and broke it, I'd be done.
Dude, I remember, man. I just remember, like, I remember playing Grand Theft Auto. Oh, by the way, you were thinking of Renegade Squadron.
Renegade
that
Squadron.
Was 2007,
that's right.
And then Elite Squadron was like 2009.
Yeah, it was Renegade Squadron.
Yeah. So, I remember playing Grand Theft Auto. The Grand Theft Auto game, not the Chinatown Wars, but the other one, the more traditional one.
Liberty City.
Yeah, Liberty City. Playing that on the bus on the way to school with my friend Jake, and we would just see who can get the most stars and last the longest. It was the whole way there.
That's what everyone did with GTA.
That's exactly like, and we just passed it back and forth, and he'd just be yelling on the bus the whole time, a bunch of rowdy middle schoolers. Like,
man.
Yeah, I remember that. I also remember, downloading a significant amount of porn on my PSP, and also watching that with like 10 dudes in the back of the bus on the way home from school.
Interesting.
Another dumb kid story where it's like, what were you doing? Like, why?
I don't know. I'll admit I downloaded a little bit of porn.
That's exactly what that was like the second use for the PSP. It was like, it was like Battlefront and then GTA and then porn. Like that was like the second use for it.
Because you could, and it's just like, oh, this is just my PSP, you know. I have Star Wars. That's
exactly it. And no one, and then like your mom, like none of the moms like know like these things were like internet access.
No,
like,
you had to
browsers on them.
It was so difficult to get into the porn that
so difficult.
You really had to like know how to get into it.
Yeah, and you had to like, it was difficult to find it, and then it was difficult to navigate around it. And then you had to actually physically download the clips. So even if you wipe all your history, it's like you could save it somewhere onto your
memory card.
Yeah, I remember that was like my first like foray into porn. It was through the PSP.
Yeah.
And I just remember, I was like, how weird. How fucking weird is that? Just 10 middle school dudes in the back of the bus being like, watching this porn clip.
Not for me. I never ventured into that
weird
experience.
Oh, man, I was a dumb kid.
PSP though, we talked about at the beginning of the show.
It's so good.
We're back.
Like I said, it's just so like I said, the bringing it to school is like such a like, because you're right. It was like DS were like handheld games, and like PSP was like awesome like console like games, because like around that time the PS2 was a thing, and you were getting like PS2 level games on the go, which is a big deal.
Those God of War games on the PSP,
so good. Like
great.
That's what I'm saying. And then it's like the Grand Theft Auto. With like I wasn't allowed to have Grand Theft Auto. That was like the one. It was really weird. The one stand my mom made with like the things I played was Grand Theft Auto.
Understandable, I guess.
But yeah, and I ended up getting Grand Theft Auto on the PSP, and then like I said, playing that every morning, and then I like bringing it to school, and then playing like Daxter on the go, or like it was weird. It was weird time.
It was a weird time. I don't know. I never got into racing games my entire life, but I had like Midnight Club on my PSP, and I was obsessed with that for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of got into cars for a minute because it was a car game, and I was like, I'm playing it on the go. I'm playing it at restaurants. I'm getting in trouble for whipping it out at a restaurant, but
I hate
whatever.
getting in trouble for whipping it out in the restaurant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell you to put
I
it
still
away.
do. Girlfriend won't let me do it.
Girlfriend won't let you whip it out of restaurants.
No.
It's always the worst.
It's sad.
Ball and chain, Eli. Ball and chain.
Don't do it. No, if you want to.
No, yeah, man. PSP. It's a hot gem.
Yeah. DS?
Yeah, for real. I was never one of those kids.
Nah. My Game Boy
Nerds
Advance
play
is
your
cool.
Fire Emblem,
Animal
Crossing, and your Pokemon.
Gross.
Disgusting. Well, Eli, it's always been a pleasure, man.
Yeah, of course.
Great having you on.
Always.
Again. It's been good. Now, if you like this episode, you can go ahead and like the video down below. You can go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. Talk about what was your favorite PSP memory, or what was your favorite gaming memory. Leave it down below in the comments down below. I like talking to you, like having a discussion with you. Go ahead and share this video. It helps us grow. That really helps us out more than anything, is you sharing it, because that helps us get bigger and be able to do more things like this podcast. You can go ahead and follow Eli over at Grid Life Digest. You can follow him at Shaw Doggy on Twitter, as you can see right there on the graphic. The guys at Grid Life Digest, awesome, and girl at Grid Life Digest. Still haven't met her.
Emma's cool.
Yeah, Emma's alright. Starting Twitter beef with me.
She has hot takes. That's all I'll say.
But no, great people over there. Go listen to their podcast. Go give them a click. They're great crew. Also, you can anything else you want to plug?
Just Grid Life Digest. We're putting out a lot of new stuff in the near future. Every month we do Grid Life Plus and Grid Life Gold, which wraps up like the PlayStation Plus games and the Xbox Live Gold games. And we just put out the Plus one this week.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. So go check them out. They're awesome people. You can also follow them on Twitter at GridLifeDigest, something. I don't know. All the links all down below onto their stuff.
It's pretty easy.
You can follow me at Cheeks_Junior on Twitter, and you can follow CTG Vids or Triptooth Gaming at CTG Vids on Twitter to stay updated with all the hotness. We have some awesome things coming up for you. Awesome guests. Hopefully, gotta get them all booked. It's a pain to do the show, but it's worth it sometimes.
It's tough
for the 35 people who watch it. But
shout out to you.
Still working on getting iTunes up. It's a pain. Apparently I can never have the right size photo for fucking some reason. It's always asking for, and then I size it exactly how they want it and downgrade it exactly how they want it, and it's still not enough.
I don't do all that. That's all Noah's job.
Yeah, it's a pain. No one knows stuff. So until next time, players, I'm Mike Doherty, and this is Completely Consensual, and this is Eli Shaw. Until next time.
Bye.